Albion Central and 8 years old. And one pin. The kids have been sitting on the bench for a little while. So it takes a little while to get all the kinks worked out after they've been briefed about how we run the show. And Pat, why don't you tell our audience at home about what happens when they get down here?
Other than the donuts that we have when they get here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll tell you that they get a great meal from Wendy's when they leave.
And they do 7 frames?
Yes, they do. They've bowled 7 frames, of course, in their home bowling center. And every bowler has a handicap, which we had in the very first frame. And so we determine our winners and losers by their final score. They bowl their 8th, 9th, and 10th frames on camera. And in every age group, we have a King or Queen of the Hill score for all the bowlers to try to beat. And we bring them back after each 12-week segment and crown those King and Queens.
And here's our first shot from Jenny Stoll from Rose Garden Bowl. And Jenny is a 4th grader in the Byron Virgin School District. She's 9 years old at Rose Garden Bowl, which is the bowling center of our executive producer, Tom Sardu. She's averaging 46, high single 92, best 2-game series 136.
Okay. Jenny has got 160 and a 7. She's got a very high game going here. Didn't quite get it out over the foul line. 160. Now, Tony, I mentioned King and Queen of the Hill scores, and of course, girls 9 and under, Queen of the Hill is that pretty young lady right there, Becky Snyder from Oak Hill Country Club Lanes at 194. And that Jenny Stahl really has a good chance to beat that if she can get some marks.
There's Kelly Sklaney again from Oak Orchard Lanes, averaging 74 at Oak Orchard, 106 her high single, 191 her best 2.
And just as she went to let go of that ball, you could see her turn her shoulders just slightly, and that's what got that ball going to the right.
Well,
Kelly,
I'm sorry, Pat.
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
I was talking with Kelly earlier, and she says she loves dancing. And I asked her if it was jazz or tap or ballet, or she said all of them. And her favorite group, the Beach Boys.
All right. Well, Kelly bowls out at Oak Orchard Lanes in Albion, and of course, Chris Starkin is the manager at Oak Orchard Lanes. And Chris also heads up the youth program.
That's a better shot from Kelly. Let's see. Okay.
130 through 9 frames. Now, as Tony mentioned, Jenny Stahl coming up from Rose Garden Bowl. Of course, Ellen Menzie is the youth director out in Virgin, and our good pal Tom Sardu, who does such a great job for us here. And a lot of times we pick on a lot of people and a lot of kidding inside the building here, but Tom and Ray Lassesi and Mike Audavino and the whole gang who work here do such a great job. We can't thank them enough.
Good work.
And of course, Gerst Carstenson's back there coordinating everything, and Nancy Hamilton's here. We got Mike Kime here, who's the manager at Cal Bowl. We'll be talking to him later. And Debbie Kambazinski, the youth director at Fairview Lanes, is here today, too.
Yeah, we talked to Debbie a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
And now here's Jenny again on lane 1. She loves reading, especially stories about the Sweet Valley twins, and likes to swim, and she does her swimming in her pool at her own home.
Great. So we go to the 10th frame with a 30-pin lead for Jenny as Kelly gets up.
And we come to you on Sundays from the in-studio lanes at WOKR TV 13. Our program today directed, as always, by Brian Overacker. And our thanks to Brian and the fine crew at 13 for helping us out. How's Kelly's shot look? Okay, the 2-7 remain. There are no winners or losers on FunTime Youth Bowling. All children who participate in the program here on television receive a coupon good for a free single quarter-pound hamburger, regular size order of french fries, and a 12-ounce soft drink from their friends at Wendy's, all Monroe, Genesee, and Ontario County locations.
Hey, nice fair. All right.
7 baby from Kelly Sklaney.
Well,
and the kids also take home a trophy from Ken Gherkin and the staffs at Gherkin's Bowling Supplies, either location, Gherkin's the Pros Pro Shop.
And of course, we mentioned Kenny Gherkin. He is the tournament director for the Wendy Youth Singles Tournament, which will be on the air February 11th. Yesterday and today are the 2 days that you will be going to your next round, which is the in-house round for the Wendy's Youth Singles Tournament. And then, of course, coming up the January 28th and 29th will be the city finals held at Brockport Bowl. And then the winners there will be coming on here on the air, and we'll have a real nice show. That's always a lot of fun, the Wendy Youth Singles.
Jenny Stahl from Rose Garden Bowl. First shot in the 10th. And she adds 3 more pins to her total. We have 8 matches every Sunday on FunTime Youth Bowling, brought to you by the Greater Rochester Area Bowling Proprietors. They are in girls and boys 9 and under, and then 10 and 11, ages 12 through 14, and we end each show with 15 to 18, and every now and then we throw in a little bumper bowling segment for a lot of extra fun.
And also John Nevada is here, who is a national YABA member, also our YABA board member, and of course a member of the Rochester Bowling Association. And we thank John for being here today.
Okay, so a final score of 163 for Jenny Stahl and 140 for Kelly Sklaney on your left. Boys 9 and under, Michael Ferrari from Empire Lanes in Webster.
And Michael is on a strike. And gets 8 more. He is 107 in the 6th.
Michael Pett is a 5th grader at Clem Road School in Webster. Age 9, he averages 106 in Empire Lanes, high single of 166. His highest 3-game series is 401.
And of course, Empire Lanes, Bill Ladisi, very wonderful, personable man, the manager. Pat Bodney, the owner at Empire Lanes. Bob Holdraker and Sandy Ellis are the youth directors at Empire Lanes.
And a very nice pick from Michael Ferrari, giving him 127 and a spare up. And now let's take a look at Nick Palma from Mount Morris Lanes.
All right, Nick, 133 in the 7th. And he gets 6 more pins.
And young Nick is 9 years old. He is a 4th grader at Mount Morris Elementary. He averages 66 at Mount Morris Lanes with a high single game of 114 and a best 2-game series of 232.
And of course,
Mount Morris brings up that Santini family.
Yes, Danny and Connie and Bob and Serge. Well, one more gives him 140. I see Nick Camardo's been working with Nick Palma. Nick Camardo, great guy, great guy.
All right, let's talk about our king of the hill in this bracket.
Well, you got to be talking about David Curbs from BIC Bowl at 205.
Yeah. And 7 pins for Michael Ferrari. David Curbs from BIC.
There he is. Hi, Dave.
Averaging, had a score of 205. And,
if he was averaging 205, that would be something.
Right, now this is Fun Time show number 23, Pat, which means we're getting close to crowning another series of King and Queens.
After next week, we'll know exactly who will be our King and Queens. And by the way, just a reminder, in a couple of weeks, we'll be announcing the winners of our scholarship tournament. And I hope that all of you did participate and enjoyed it. We're going to be giving out about $14,000 in scholarship money to further your education, and maybe someday you can be a leader of our community and help everybody else out.
Well, a pretty good 8-pin hit from Nick Palma from Mount Morris Lanes, and off camera I talked with Nick before we began the show, and he enjoys football. Chicago Bears his favorite squad, Jim McMahon his favorite player, and he also enjoys swimming.
You know, Tony, that was really a rotten thing to do, ask me who I liked to the Super Bowl.
Well, I know who I liked, and that's Washington. The only problem is they were eliminated back in December.
Yeah, well, considering we don't even know who's in the playoffs yet.
Oh, I know. I'm not going to tell you. Why? I know who was in the playoffs.
You do?
Sure. Anyway, back to bowling and Michael Ferrari. And Michael likes playing the trumpet in the school band.
Hey.
And look at, Pat, ever since we came on camera, Michael has gone spare, strike. He's like a regular home zoomed-in bowling machine out
He's
there.
bowling really well, and if he strikes out, he goes to 194. He'll miss that King of the Hill score by only 11 pins.
Michael Ferrari from Empire Lanes in Webster, 5th grader from Clem Road School, 9 years old. Hang on. 7 more.
Well, this young man averaging 106 at 9 years old certainly is a well-accomplished young bowler. no doubt about it.
And a great time to start the kids bowling when they're, well, with bumper bowling now as young as 3 and 4. We saw 2 weeks ago Matthew Deans, one of our bumper bowlers, was 3, and Lisa Murator, his companion on the lanes, was 4. And that bumper bowling program getting things started. All right.
How about a spare?
Good try.
Very nice game for Michael. 183.
And Nick Palma steps now to lane number 2. Carefully sets his footwork.
Well, I know Gene Denk will be very proud of Michael Ferrari, as Gene has been working with Mike, and we watched Nick Palma let one get away there.
Well, we were mentioning earlier 2 of our great sponsors, Wendy's and Gherkin's Bowling Supplies, while our other sponsors include the Diplomat Party House and Rochester Coca-Cola Bottling Corporation, Eaglevale's Four Seasons Golf Shop, Ricky's Towing, JR Automotive World, and LeClaire Home Improvement.
There's a better ball. 154 for Nick, 183 for Mike. And we go to girls 10 and 11.
And leading us off is Tina Macy, and Tina bowls out of the Batavia Bowling Center. She's a 5th grader at East Pembroke School and 10 years old.
And she has got one heck of a game going. She's got 166 right now in the 7th frame. Oh, that pin almost fell over and stood back up.
Okay. Tina averages 46 at Batavia Bowling Center. She has a high single game to her credit of 166, and her highest 3-game series is a 401. Pardon me, a 223. I was looking at the wrong block. And Tina plays the flute in the band at East Pembroke School, and her favorite musical group, Bon Jovi.
Oh, she has got a good chance for Queen of the Hill. Look at this. Come on. Oh,
Good try.
175 now.
Her opponent in girls 10 and 11 from Terrace Garden Lane, Stephanie Carter. And Stephanie's a 5th grader at school 41 and 11 years old.
And she has 119 through 7 frames. Just falls into the channel. Terrace Garden Lanes, of course, John D. is the manager. And Joan Korsch, the youth director at Terrace Garden Lanes.
And Stephanie's averaging 96 at Terrace Gardens over there on Ridgeway Avenue, and a high single to her credit of 158. And she carefully sets her footwork and eyes the target. And she's got this one on the lane a little better. That's a much better shot.
Much better shot. Breaks
6 pins.
125. As Tina Macy comes up, I'll tell you that our Queen of the Hill in this age group is Tina Bauer from Ontario Bowling Center. And Tina score 196. Tina Macy, this young lady bowling right now, has a chance to beat that score. She needs a mark.
And here is Tina Macy on lane number 2. 1 pin.
Tina Macy bowling out of Batavia Bowling Center. Of course, Rich Strelecki and Phil Tews are the owners, and Kathy Schonecker is the youth director.
Well, that Wendy's tournament coming up, and that's always going to be a lot of fun. We had a great time with the youth singles last year, and happy to have Wendy's associated with it this 1988-89 season.
Certainly.
Okay, Tina now.
She needs a high pin count. Oh, that's going to hurt her. That gives her 184 now, or 186.
176, I think.
Or 176. I'm going to give her 11 pins no matter what here, Tony. So she's going to need 20 pins in the 10th frame to tie Tina Bauer's Queen of the Hill score.
And Stephanie, after throwing the first ball in the channel, has rallied with a 6, and look at this one. She's getting better with every shot. 9 more pins for Stephanie Carter. Stephanie tells me that she enjoys soccer, and swimming is one of her favorite things, and of course bowling. And you know, now that we're into those cold and wintry months of January, and you know, we mentioned today is Super Bowl Sunday, and as you alluded to, the game is until later. What an excellent time to go on and do some bowling.
Traditionally, this is an excellent open bowling day. Traditionally. Many of the bowling centers plan around this to have this afternoon available for open bowling. And I'll tell you, get down to the bowling center, have some fun. You know, I'm looking at the sheet here where Stephanie Carter's coach is Lucille Jewell. And I know Lucille Jewell is either the mother or the aunt of Kimberly Jewell, who's our Queen of the Hill in girls 12 to 14, which will be coming up a little bit later in the show.
All right, so 10th frame now for Tina. An opportunity to surpass Tina Bauer's queen score. But what she's going to have to do is she's going to have to get all 10 pins down on her next shot and on her final shot to tie
Tina Bauer, right?
For Queen of the Hill.
That's right. Now,
There's Tina Bauer.
There you see Tina. And there you see David Curbs, who is our boys 9 and under king. You know, one more week, Tony. Next week, the winners are the winners, and we'll hand out those beautiful, huge trophies, and then we get to start all over for our last 12 weeks.
Tina Macy has to get him, well, she's going to fall a little short of Queen of the Hill.
All right, 176.
176. Tina from the Batavia Bowling Center.
And there you see Kimberly Jewell, girls 12 to 14. I know that, I do believe Lucille's her mother or her aunt. It's one of the two. Coaches this young lady, Stephanie Carter.
Okay, 8 more pins to add to Stephanie Carter's total. She's got the 5-6 split now. All right, so Stephanie now for her shot. If she makes it, she'll get another one on the outside of the 5-pin.
Almost.
Very close, though.
142 for Stephanie. Nice game.
And Tina Macy will take the title in girls 10 and 11.
Now we're going to go to the boys. Here they come.
Mike Van Laer from Lads on Merchants Road will lead us off, and Mike's a 5th grader at St. Salome's, 10 years old.
And Mike is on a spare and is going to get one more pin. That gives him 119 through 7 frames.
And Mike averages 58 over at Lads Bowling Center. And Lads is located on Merchants Road, right near Culver, where they meet. And Michael is averaging has a high single of 124. And his highest 2-game series is a 185 over at Lads. And
okay, Mike.
What an interesting little bowling center that is. We talk about it a lot when a kid from Lads is on, and done a lot of work there in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and Dick Ladd, of course, working very hard and has a tremendously large youth program for a 12-man bowling center. He's got a lot of kids over there, that's for sure. 120 for Mike.
From Spencerport Lane, Steve Zarpentine, and Steve is a 7th grader at Cosgrove Junior High School, 11 years old.
And I'm looking right at his father, who's behind the monitor. And of course, his father, Paul, one of the better Classic League bowlers here in the Rochester area. I know this young man will have quite a future in the game of bowling as he breaks for 102.
Steve averages 117 at Spencerport.
That's a very high average for an 11-year-old boy.
Average. 182 is high single, 455 for 3. Studies his approach. Good follow through.
See it. You know, typically of the good players, notice how steady the young man kept his head. That's really the key.
Okay, so Michael Van Laer now back up, this time on lane number 1. And
Mike over on the other lane. Do you think he's turned? Tony, you know where our King of the Hill is in this group?
Sean McGlynn.
Yeah, Sean. How about this for a good ball?
Much better shot from Michael. Okay, get down.
Oh!
8 pins.
There's Sean, that smiling face. Sean's score 194.
And he's out of Geneva's Town and Country Lanes.
Yep.
And has to hold on for another, another couple of frames here and one more show. And that 194 stays up there. We'll have him back for our King of the Hill trophy in a couple of weeks.
Well, that was a terrible break for poor Mike Van Laer here. He made a pretty good shot there. The pins went flying all over, and the 7 and 10 just decided to stand up. All right, Mike, let's see you get one here. boy.
Got the
All
right
right,
idea.
he's got one of them. Oh, no, sure. Right? He sure did. Well, Steve,
7-10 ever been made on FunTime Youth Bowling?
no, I don't believe so.
All right, Steve Zarpentine now, back up. Steve enjoys reading, and he enjoys music.
And I'll bet he enjoys that, too. Boom. Well, 10th frame, Tony. Mike Van Leer with about a 3-pin lead right now. You know, we haven't had a tie in a long time. Of course,
that's always a lot of fun, especially for, in this case, Ray Lassesi, who's sitting in the lane.
that's right. Ray would have to coordinate that. And, oh. Didn't quite get all of that. Well, Tony, as we've mentioned many times, we have no winners or losers on the show. Each one of these youths that's on all day long that you watch, each one of them has distinguished themselves in bowling and citizenship in their local bowling centers, and we take our hats off to each and every one of them, and that's why everybody gets a trophy and that nice certificate from our good friends at Wendy's, because we applaud each and every one of them, because they're all winners, that's for sure.
That's right. Mike Van Leer tells me he's a big Bills fan.
Well, hit it.
Oh, a good one.
Well,
One more pins.
137 for Mike Van Leer. Now, as Steve Zarpentine comes up, I'll tell you that he bowls at Spencerport Lanes. And, of course, Al Formicola is the manager at Spencerport Lanes. Frank Formicola, the owner. Mark McLean and Gloria Moyle are the youth directors. And I know Marianne Formicola works very hard, along with Bill Jewell helps out down there. They got a nice staff at Spencerport Lanes. Well, let me see. If he gets 8 pins, I think we have a tie, right? Yeah, we do. If he gets 8, we have a tie. Because that would give him 129 and 8, 137. Sure is. He needs 8 to tie, 9 to win. He's going to get 8. There's that tie. I knew we could get a tie here today.
A tie between Mike Van Leer and Steve Zarpentine. So
Yeah, they got to go
we'll
right
redo
back
the
up.
10th frame.
Have them both get up right along each other, and you're all set.
There's the scorecard, 137 all. After
All right.
regulation.
That's exciting.
Sure. So Michael Van Leer will be on lane 2, and we'll go first. We'll re-roll the 10th frame. Mike Van Leer. Okay, 5 pins to get Mike Van Leer on his way. Now Steve Zarpentine will get up on lane.
See how I talked those pins right into a tie? I like ties. I like
They
ties.
heard you.
I like ties.
Right, so we've got 8 working for Mike. See what happens with Steve. Got 'em all.
Okay, now unless Mike picks this spare, Steve will be our winner.
That's right.
Come on, hook back. Come on, he's got a chance.
Okay, well, a good try. So Steve Zarpentine will take the title in boys 10 and 11. We've got to take a time out, and we'll be back with more FunTime Youth Bowling after these words for you.
All right. 10-7. Good match.
When you receive an invitation to a banquet, a wedding, a business meeting, or any special event, aren't you pleased to learn that it's going to be at the Diplomat Party House? The Diplomat means quality, from the excellent variety of its menu to its friendly and courteous personnel. We remember all the details so you can concentrate on entertaining your guests. And with 5 banquet rooms, we accommodate any size function at reasonable prices. For your next occasion, it's the Diplomat Party House, 1956 Lyle Avenue, adjacent to 390. The Diplomat, Rochester's classy party address.
Another day, another delay. Boy, driving our road sure is tough work. But the experts at Ricky's Towing and JR Automotive World are ready when you need help. Ricky's fully equipped radio dispatch fleet will come to your rescue 24 hours a day. No job is too big or too small. And for reputable service, it's JR Automotive World. We'll repair it right the first time. Ricky's Towing and JR Automotive World. Unbeatable service from an unbeatable team.
You're looking for something different to do? Something that's more stimulating, more exciting, and affordable? Go bowling. When's the last time you got together with your friends? When's the last time you went bowling? Come on, do it for laughs. Do it for the fun of it. Right now, call your local bowling center. Reserve yourself a lane. Do it now. Do it today. Go bowling and let the good times roll.
Finding the right company to upgrade your property is one tough job. So that's why many area residents rely on the professionals at LeClaire. We're pleased that much of our business comes from referrals by folks just like you. And LeClaire is honored to be on the prestigious Preferred Contractors list of First Federal's Home Advantage Services Network. Quality products from names like Stanley and Marvin at fair prices. Call your neighbors at LeClaire in the yellow pages at 663-5437. LeClaire will make you
Talks to the youngsters. I got Mike from Calbo, who's been working real hard today. Thank you, Michael, as always.
Thanks for having me, Pat.
Well, you know, as always, you've got people that help you out there, and you get some new people
Yeah,
down there this
we've
year.
got been running the junior program this year, and they're really doing a super job, and we love to have you step down.
Very good. Michael, thank you very much for working
Thank you.
so hard today. Okay. Tony?
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Pat. Let's talk to the children. Come out over here. This is Jenny Stahl from Rose Garden Head. Stahl from Rose Garden Head 163. Nice to have you on the show. We've got a certificate from Wendy's and a trophy from Gherkins, and our thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Okay. And Kelly Sclaney, Kelly from Oak Orchard 140, picked the 2-7. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. And Michael Ferreri. Michael from Empire Lanes had 183. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Michael. Boys 9 and under, Nick Palma from Mount Morris Lanes. Nick had 154. Nice to meet you, Nick. Good to see you.
Yeah.
All righty. And in girls 10 and 11 from Batavia Bowling Center with 176, Tina Macy. Nice to see you, Tina.
Thank you.
Okay. And stick over here, Stephanie Carter from Terrace Garden Lanes had 142. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
In a tiebreaker from Spencerport, 137 and a strike in a tiebreaker, Steve Zarpentine. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. And finally, Mike Van Laer from Lads had 137. Mike, good to see you again.
Thanks.
Okay, back to Pat. We're going to get going with the second half.
Thanks, Tony. We're going to go to girls 12 to 14, and leading off will be Stephanie Farrell. And Stephanie coming up, bowling out of Gates Bowl. Where am I here? She's on a double and a spare. That's where I am. Just to make a quick comment here, the reason why we went through that first half of the show a little quicker than others is we are a little bit behind, and as you know, this is only an hour show.
Last time we checked.
Yes, and there's a bowling show on right after us, the Brighton Panorama show, and I'm sure they would like to have their entire hour.
Okay, a good start for Stephanie Farrell of Gates Bowl, who starts off with the spare. Now here's Laura Stockslater from North Park Lanes, and her first shot.
Did it.
And 9 pins for Laura. Now Laura is a 7th grader at the St. Margaret Mary School, and she is 12 years old. Her average is 137. Her high single game is 196, and her best 3-game series is an impressive 530. Bet.
Got some well-coached youngsters out here, Tony. 126 as we go back to Stephanie Farrell.
This is, here's Mike Ottavino and Ray Lasessi are at their own private match because Stephanie from Gates Bowl, Mike's center, Laura from North Park, Ray's center.
That gives her 186 now through 8 frames, and I'll tell you that our queen of the hill in this age group is Kimberly Jewell, who we saw a few minutes ago at 235. Stephanie needs a spare, and then we'll need lots of strikes in the 10th, but can beat that score.
And Stephanie Pat enjoys sports, bowling, volleyball, and softball.
Good spare.
Yeah, good cover. Laura enjoys soccer and softball.
Well, Laura bowls out of North Park Lanes, and Ray Lasessi, as Tony mentioned, is the manager. His dad, Ray Sr., is the owner, and of course, Norma Manella is the youth director at North Park Lanes. And just a reminder for those of you at home this afternoon, most bowling centers here in the Rochester area have open bowling. And today would be an excellent day to go out, do a little open bowling today. Get practiced up.
Laura for her conversion on the 5-pin.
Yeah.
It hasn't.
That's just how you do it.
Well, that brings Stephanie up, and
Well, we got up Gates Bowl. Jerry Palma, of course, the head coach over at Gates Bowl.
by the way, Stephanie also works part-time at the Diplomat Party House.
Isn't that interesting? One of our fine sponsors for
Yeah, she works.
Phil and Louie.
Phil and Louie, there's the Diplomat right there.
one of our-
Rochester's classy party address at 1956 Lyle Avenue, adjacent to 390. And the Diplomat, along with our other fine sponsors, Rochester Coca-Cola Bottling, Wendy's Restaurants, Gherkin's Bowling Supplies, Eagle Vale's Four Seasons Golf Shop, Ricky's Towing's Air Automotive World, and LeClaire Home Improvement, helping bring FunTime Youth Bowling your way every summer.
Tony, I'd like to congratulate you for getting all those sponsors out in one breath. Very good.
Thank you, Pat.
And of course, you know, we're not making light of anything, because I'll tell you, these sponsors sponsoring youth bowling here in the Rochester area. Of course, youth bowling, one of the strong youth sports. And if you're not signed up for a program, get down and have some fun. A nice game. 2-17 for Stephanie Farrell.
Came close to that 235, but it'll stay for another week for Kimberly. So 10th frame now for Laura Stockslater, and this is a pretty good looking shot.
Laura breaks for 8. 144 now through 9 frames. Well, you know, Tony, we're coming to the end of our second third of our programming year. It's just hard to believe that the time is going this quickly.
It really is, but it is.
Yeah, I know. It's unbelievable.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
terrible break. 153 for Laura.
153 for Laura, 217 for Stephanie. And now boys 12-14. Leading us off from Cherry Lane's Keith Millspaw. And
right.
Keith, the freshman at Sodas, 14 years old.
Keith is in bowling, has improved over the past few years by leaps and bounds.
Well, he's averaging 120 at Cherry Lane's, Pat, and recently upped his high single game to a 259 and bettered his 3-game series to 565.
Well, Keith is bowling on they have the Wayne County School League out there, and of course, Keith is a member of the Sodas team. He's very proud of that, and he really has, in the past 2 years, his bowling game has really, really improved. I'm very impressed with the young man. 148 now through 7 frames for Keith.
Opposing Keith in boys 12-14 is Brian Teeter from Livingston Lanes.
Ran a
Kind of
little,
lost his balance.
little off balance, but he's bowling a good game. 160 for Brian now.
Brian Penn is a 7th grader at Avon Central, and he is 12 years old. He's averaging 109 at Livingston Lanes with a high single game of 164 and a best 3-game set of 383. And there's how they stand here in the 8th frame.
Very close. 12 pins separate the two bowlers.
Brian Teeter for his spare.
Follow through. 169 now.
Brings Keith Millspaw back up to the lanes.
And we'll tell you that the king of the hill in this age group is Peter Hines from Fairview Lanes at 237. And there you are, Pete.
Okay, back to Keith on lane 2. Good follow through, crosses over, carries.
Hey.
Brian Teeter tells me, Patty, he's also a wrestler. He loves amateur wrestling, and he's going to try it at the 144-pound weight class, or whatever that balances out to during the year. And
How about a strike?
Came real close. He's leaving the 245.
Well, I'll tell you that Brian Teeter bowls at Livingston Lanes, and Bob O'Connell is the owner, along with his beautiful wife, Noreen. Great program out at Livingston Lanes, and I know they've really put a big emphasis on youth bowling out there for many, many years, and this year the program's bigger than ever.
For the 245, Brian Teeter, he's got it.
All right, as we go to 10th frame, I'll tell you that Keith Millspaw bowls at Cherry Lanes out in Sodas, and of course Dave Seaman, the manager. Buddy Kugler, Jim Pearson, Greg Duncan, Gary Cartwright, Marty Rollison, John Bodine, a whole gang of people out there doing a great job.
And some late pin action.
And Keith's mother and sister in the audience today, sitting way back under the Wendy's sign in the back.
Keith, Keith enjoys drama and school plays at Sodas. He was in the production of The Mouse That Roared, and he says that the folks at Sodas are working on a musical. He likes acting.
Terrific. Well, what a nice game Keith's bowled. He's got 195 now. He's going to shoot 215. Nice game, Keith.
Nice game, and it'll unfortunately fall a little short of Peter Hines' 237. And we saw Peter a bit earlier, so we'll watch.
There you see Pete. Hi, Pete.
Keith Millspaw.
All right, 215. Boy, he came on the air, went spare, strike, spare.
And it'll be the final shot time for Brian Teeter. Brian's working on a spare. He has a shot at getting into the 200s here.
He can go to 219. He can still win this game. Not over yet.
How's it look?
How about the first one? Oh.
He's got 8.
187 for Brian. So a possible 207 game.
Okay, so let's see what happens here with Brian. Okay, we're running short. We'll take a break and be back with our final 2 matches after this.
Now, for a limited time, get a Wendy's Monster Meal double 8-ounce hamburger with cheese, large fry, and large soft drink for only $3.79. Pick up your $2 off adult child discount coupon to Wendy's Thunder Nationals, coming to the Rochester War Memorial January 27th and 28th.
Hi, I'm Don Stevens, inviting you to join the Amerks at this week's Wendy's Family Night as they host the New Haven Nighthawks. Discount coupons now available at all Monroe, Genesee, and Ontario County Wendy's locations.
Ladies and gentlemen, from this day forward, there is only one name to remember for all your golfing accessories and sportswear desires. Introducing the Four Seasons Golf Shop.
The best quality, the widest selection, the latest in elegant sportswear and comfortable clothing. It's all at the Four Seasons Golf Shop at Eaglevale. And it's yours at the most affordable prices you'll find anywhere.
Yes, this is it.
Come to the Four Seasons, where our quality is above par, but our prices are not.
Local bowling center. Reserve yourself a lane. Do it now. Do it today. Go bowling and let the good times roll.
It's official.
It's summer, all right.
Let's do it.
Can't beat it.
Let's go. They're coming.
Here we go.
Get your official soft drink is over here. Ice cold Coca-Cola Classic.
Can't beat the feeling.
Yeah.
Where'd everybody go?
Tony Destino and Pat Horner back with you on FunTime Youth Bowling. It's time for our girls 15 to 18 matches, and Maria Day from Gherkins Airport Lanes leads us off.
And Maria has 159 through 7 frames and a strike. All right, Maria.
And going against Maria in girls ages 15 to 18 is Jody Shipley from Roseland Bowl in Canandaigua. Jody's a sophomore at Marcus Whitman and 15 years old.
And she is a very, very talented bowler. She's got triple, 3 spares, and a strike. And that's what happens when you sit down for a while.
Jody averages 148 at Roseland and a 215 high single, 554 her best 3-game series. And she bowls on the school team at Marcus Whitman. She's been bowling on the school club since she was in 7th grade. And she also enjoys soccer and softball.
Terrific.
Jody Shipley.
Well, she has 162 through 7 frames, or through 6 frames, I'm sorry, and on a strike. Spare here will go a long way, and there it goes. 182.
So as Maria Day steps back up on lane 2, we'll tell you about our Queen of the Hill.
Yeah, that's Toby Yunser from Mount Morris Lanes at 233, and we'll see a picture of her in just a moment. As Maria breaks break.
And here's Toby.
There's Toby.
Spinning out of nowhere.
And Maria, of course, bowling at Gherkin's Airport Lanes, where Kenny Gherkin is the owner. Kevin Welling is the head coach.
Maria is an 8th grader at the Gates Charlie Middle School. She's 15 years old. Averages 109 at Airport. 162 her high single. 394 her best 3-game series.
179 now through 8 frames. Both these young ladies are taking the aim at that Queen of the Hill score.
Jody Shipley, she's got a definite style, knows what she's doing.
Bowling out of Roseland Bowl, and of course Jack Moran, the owner, and Dick Personality, the youth director at Roseland Bowl. Well, she's got 201. If she goes spare, she needs 2 marks for Queen of the Hill.
2 marks for Queen of the Hill for Jody Shipley from Roseland. Got to have this 5-pin come back.
Oh, that's
a 5.
I think
now
that's
she needs a double and 3 pins to tie Queen.
Yeah, that's a little uncharacteristic right there.
Okay, Maria Day. Maria tells me she enjoys swimming and volleyball in addition to bowling, Pat. Good shot here.
8, 197. Who's Mr. Destino? Can you tell me who that gentleman is that just walked in the door? I don't believe I've seen him for about...
For about the 40th time in my life, I'm blinded by another sweater he has on.
Frank Formakova just walked in the room.
Frank, our creative and technical consultant.
That's
here
right.
Fun Time.
And he's also the president of the Rochester Bowling Proprietors. That's why Frank hasn't been here an awful lot. He's been very, very busy.
And there's a good look at Frank.
Hey, Frank, wave.
Frank, you're on camera. Say hi. There he is. Good to see Frank as always. Okay, Jody Shipley now has to have a strike if she's got a shot at Queen of the Hill.
And she breaks for 8.
And of course, that 5-pin miss proves to be
Maria made a nice game there, Tony. 208. Jody well over 200. And Toby Yentzer really dodged a bullet here. Really dodged a bullet. Mr. Formacola, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, Super Bowl Sunday. Nice to have you with us. Pat took the Giants, the Giants. He took the 49ers and the Bengals. Uh-oh. And there's a foul from Jody.
As we always say, these shows aren't taped ahead of time. We don't even know who's in it, so we're guessing.
218 for Jody Shipley and 208 for Maria Day. And now we'll go to boys 15 to 18.
Wave.
And Tim Welling from Perry's Bowling Center leads us off against Bill Butterfield from West Ridge Lanes. Tim Welling, freshman at Edison, 15 years old.
Boom! All right.
Tim averaging 174 with a high single of 211, best 3, 605. Opponent, Bill Butterfield, West Ridge Lanes, senior at Spencerport, 16 years old. Crosses. Ball came up on the nose. And he's got the 6-7-10 left to negotiate. Bill averages 172. Recently upped his high single to a 242. And his best 3-game series is 645. There you see what's facing him, the 6-7-10. One more. Now, Tim Welling, who had that strike on the first shot, and Bill Butterfield are both going after a King of the Hill score of 238.
There you see Ken Haas from Scopano's Paradise Lanes, our King of the Hill
2
holder.
weeks ago in our last show.
Right, and Timmy has a good chance to beat this. Of course, Timmy's mom, Kathy, is the youth director at Perry's Bowling Center.
And that brings up the topic of the older ball returns.
Well, yeah, this you know, when they built this studio specifically for bowling, the ball return, there's not as much room as there is in a bowling center, and if you're trying to move far left on the right-hand lane, the ball return really does come in your path. There you see him kicking it. Reminiscent of Mark Roth a few years ago on national television on the Pro Bowlers Tour, which is on here on Saturdays on ABC.
That's right. Coming up later today. Pardon me, later yesterday.
Later yesterday? How about earlier next Saturday?
Could be. Stay tuned. That's how you're looking at things. What else should we say? Anyway, that's right. The Pro Bowlers Tour is back underway with that.
That was beautiful.
Winter tour.
Tony, we have had one great show, haven't we?
Had a lot of fun.
You know, we've been going
We ought to call our buddy Maurice for some consultation.
I'm going to tell you what, this show here, you know, sometimes you're going along and you're in good shape and everything's fine, and then you get to a show like this where the gremlins all come out of the woodwork and they get you all at once.
Seems to happen on Super Bowl Sunday. Anyway, Tim Welling, a fan of basketball, he likes the Boston Celtics and football, and back on January 1st, he was 16 years old.
All right, well, Tim bowling out of Perry's, and of course, Kathy Williams, his mom, the youth director, and of course, John Pereira is the manager. And now that gives him 216 through the ninth frame. Timmy with a spare and a strike will shoot 236, and Ken Haas will remain King of the Hill for another week.
Okay, so Tim Welling has a shot at going at 236, as you mentioned. Hang on.
Ooh, 225, Tim, nice game. Now, Bill Butterfield coming up, bowls out of Westridge Lanes, where Kathy Ruger is the manager. And, of course, Bob Gillette, the owner, and Bonnie and Jack Sale, two very dedicated people, are the youth directors at Westridge Lanes.
And Bill Butterfield tells me he enjoys snow skiing at Swain, and he's a big fan of the Yankees and Don Mattingly. So let's see what happens.
All right. And he gets a spare. So a possible 151 game for Bill Butterfield. Tim Welling finished at 225. We had, on this half of the show, Tony, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 200 games out of 8.
How about it?
Good finish, Bill. 151 for Bill Butterfield. And Tim Welling finished with 225.
Okay. Well, we are going to take a brief time out for some important messages from our fine commercial sponsors. And when we return, we'll talk with all the people who are on the second half of the show. Okay?
All right.
Okay, be right back.
You're looking for something different to do? Something that's more stimulating, more exciting, and affordable? Go bowling. When's the last time you got together with your friends? When's the last time you went bowling? Come on, do it for laughs. Do it for the fun of it. Right now, call your local bowling center. Reserve yourself a lane. Do it now. Do it today. Go bowling and let the good times roll.
When you receive an invitation to a banquet, a wedding, a business meeting, or any special event, aren't you pleased to learn that it's going to be at the Diplomat Party House? The Diplomat means quality, from the excellent variety of its menu to its friendly and courteous personnel. We remember all the details so you can concentrate on entertaining your guests. And with 5 banquet rooms, we accommodate any size function at reasonable prices. For your next occasion, it's the Diplomat Party House, 1956 Lyle Avenue, adjacent to 390. The Diplomat, Rochester's classy party address.
Reasonable prices, super service, and top-of-the-line quality. It's all at Gherkin's Bowling Supplies. Gherkin's has kept pace with urethane equipment from names like AMF, Columbia, Brunswick, Hammer, and Ebonite. We feature trusted accessories like colonial bags, comfortable footwear by Dexter and Endicott Johnson, gloves, wrist guards, and sharp apparel by Hilton and Kate Louie. Need a trophy? Gherkin's is the place for that lasting impression. Gherkin's Bowling Supplies, 775 North Goodman, or at Airport Lanes. No wonder Gherkin's is the pros pro shop.
Your hometown Chevy dealers present another ex-Ford owner.
My dad and I have driven Ford trucks for as long as I can remember. If somebody had told me 3 months ago that I'd be driving a Chevy truck, I wouldn't have believed him.
With more power, payload, cab room, and better mileage than Ford, it's no wonder more people are driving Chevy trucks. And now get $500 cash back on selected full-size Chevy pickups or 4.9 financing on S10 pickups. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Around this area, Chevy beats Ford, hands down.
Welcome back to FunTime Youth Bowling, everybody, and we'll talk to the 8 people who helped us out in the second part of the show, helped us out, bowled on the show. Stephanie Farrell's first. Stephanie from Gatesville had a very nice 217. Way to bowl.
Thank you.
Did you have a good time out here?
Yeah.
Now, you know, Stephanie, in addition to bowling and liking all the things we were telling you about, also works part-time at one of our sponsors for the Diplomat Party House, huh?
Yeah.
For Phil and Louie, and we've got a certificate for you from Wendy's and a trophy from Ken Gherkin and his staff at Gherkin's Bowling Supplies, and our thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Laura Stockslater, North Park Lanes. Laura had 153. Pat can't help us out on his Super Bowl selection for today. But we were treated to some fine bowling, and you were among those who did it. Thank you.
Thank
okay,
you.
Laura. Keith Nussbaugh from Cherry Lanes. Keith had a pretty good 215, and you like acting in the plays at school right now.
Yes.
And you were telling me that they're working on a musical at school for the upcoming season?
Yes.
Okay, well, we wish you well with that.
Thank you.
Remember your lines.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Keith Nussbaugh. And Brian Teeter from Livingston. Brian's not only a bowler, but he's going to be doing some wrestling soon in high school and things along those lines, and we wish you with success in those too, okay?
Great, thanks.
Thank you. And Jody Shipley from Roseland Bowl. Jody, the 5-pin cost you a good shot at Queen of the Hill, and I'm sure you were aware of that.
Yeah.
Well, we can tell from your style and your form that you definitely know what you're doing, and we wish you well in your bowling career as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jody Shipley. And Maria Day. Hey, Maria, 208's not a bad game either. Way to bowl.
Thank you.
Continued success for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have Tim Welling from Perry's Bowling Center, and Tim had 225. Fine score, Tim. Say hello to the family. Okay.
Hello, family.
And Bill Butterfield from West Ridge Lanes, 151. He's averaging 172 and recently had a 242 game, huh? Okay, good to have you with us on FunTime. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, Tony, I hope everybody enjoyed the show today, and we'll see you next week here on FunTime Youth Bowling, right?
That's right. We come your way Sunday mornings at 11:30. So for Pat Horner and all the members of the staff who bring you FunTime Youth Bowling, Tony Destino saying thank you and so long. The Greater Rochester Area Bowling Proprietors Association has presented FunTime Youth Bowling.